that, they will have some sanitized for you, and also no sharing of gloves, helmets, or bats. Check-in time is 15 minutes prior to the session. Now, the session's the baseball league age for 11 to 12, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's for ages 9 and 10, and then 12:30 to 1:30. That will be for ages 7 and 8. And any 6-year-old that played 1 year of T-ball. If you have any questions, contact Patricia at 860-237-2914. The Board of Finance has a special meeting scheduled for tonight, and on the agenda is nothing more than the fiscal year budgets for the upcoming year. The senior center is not on this agenda as far as the cost overruns are expected. That doesn't mean that they won't talk about it, but that is tonight. And you can join them on the Zoom conferencing system, and you can get that meeting information on grizzle-ct.org and simply click on meetings and agendas. Did you know that this is National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week? And for all types of facts on drugs and alcohol and their effects, especially on our nation's youth, head on over to grizzledpride.org. It's going to be triple event Saturday on Saturday, April 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 3 different activities will be going on, including the unplugged activities, which are put on by Griswold Youth and Family Services. It's also Earth Day weekend for our community cleanup, and it's also the National DEA Drug Take Back Day, which will happen at Town Hall. There is an event on Facebook that you can follow called the DEA Drug Take Back and Unplugged Activity Drive-Through Day.
The 9 a.m. report on SNSN has been brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
This is your local weather forecast on SNSN. Cloudy skies today, maybe some drizzle here and there, but becoming mostly sunny by the afternoon with temperatures around 70 degrees. Tonight, a 30% chance of showers after midnight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy up until that with temps right around 50 degrees, a little bit warm tonight. And for tomorrow, showers are likely in the morning and then gradually becoming more sunny in the afternoon with temperatures around 67 degrees.
The legends live here. Cars. Live 24/7.
I love you. You guys are fantastic.
SNSN.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. It's 9:06 here in Eastern Connecticut. What's up, Paul?
Thursday, and I'm here.
It's Thursday, and why are you here?
I came here to see Mr. Joe.
That's right. And Joe just kind of popped in there, too. So let's put him in there. Boom! There he is.
Hey, what's happening, man? With no mask.
Look who I got here.
I see.
You see?
I do.
I told him, I said, Joe's coming back. I said, you got to show up.
Hey, so he thought that I wasn't coming back. That's why he's here on Thursday. Typically, he's not, right?
No, he's never here on Thursday. But I told him.
Can you hear me good?
I told him you were in. Huh?
What's that? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me okay?
Good. Yep, sure can.
All right. Good. So how have you been? It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. So I've definitely overextended myself, but that's okay. But I've been all right. Other than my some family members now knowing this is going on, I've been all right.
Is that something you want to tackle, or?
Sure. So
you're not wearing a mask. Usually you're wearing a mask and glasses and.
Yeah. Usually I'm trying to hide my identity, but like I said, the cat is out of the bag. Um, my biggest fear has come to fruition. I did not want this to be the case, but now that it is, I'm trying to minimize the collateral damage.
What
So,
I mean, I don't even know what to say as far as how that's
yeah.
going to affect you.
Yeah, and that you know the thing was to stay in silence and stay out of the way. That was kind of the model that this was built on.
Mhm.
However, like I said, here we are, and I can't change it. Um, I'm just going to have to roll with it at this point. So they believe that I just picked up and left and started a life in another state, and it just so happens by chance that we our paths crossed again, and I think I have my cousin convinced that this is the case, but as for everybody else,
Oh,
not sure.
everybody else. There's
Yeah, there's a couple
more.
more. Yeah, he's told. Even though I've asked him specifically several times, he's told a couple more of my family members. So this is getting convoluted, I guess. It's getting confusing for a lot of different people.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. I mean,
Wow.
I can understand. I mean, what I guess what what they think. I mean, all of a
Yeah,
sudden, boom, you're gone for 9 years, and all of a sudden, boom, there he is on the internet talking about time travel.
yeah. They think I fell and bumped my head. Essentially, essentially.
So how's your relationship with your cousin now? I mean, how is it getting better or?
I still think he's weirded out by the whole thing. You and I
Wouldn't
talked
be
on the
really.
phone. Yeah, you and I talked on the phone, and I told you I had given him some information that happened, and I think it kind of threw him for a loop. So where he
You know
was
what?
really stuck on the fact that I just up and left for whatever reason,
Yeah.
I, my life wasn't bad uh, in Florida, so but it's not the case. That's what I tried to explain to him. Whatever perception you have of this is not the case.
That would be tough to understand.
Yeah.
It would be tough to understand. So I noticed also I haven't seen you post a whole lot of anything on social
Yeah.
media as of late too.
Yeah.
Is that kind of some of the collateral damage?
I mean, I took a second to kind of digest that whole scenario. Um, it is what it is, and I can't change it. So I've begun to post some things on TikTok, um, and I've been doing the crypto stuff, which is time consuming. And I bought a business, which is time consuming. So it's more of a you know time issue as of late. In the beginning, I had to take a few days to kind of decide if I wanted to do this anymore.
What the time travel stuff and talking about that, and
Well, yeah, just
is that what you
being
meant?
so out in the open, exposed.
It's kind of like you're walking around naked.
I mean, I feel yeah, you seem to be vulnerable when you don't think you are. So
Yeah, yeah. Paul,
Wow.
see, and I talk to Paul all the time. Say, hey, Joe's coming back. He's gonna come on now. You and I spoke. I know, so I know this part of the story and stuff. That's why I asked you if you even wanted to go ahead and go with that.
Yeah.
I think he escaped from Amish country and moved into Florida. I think he's probably an Amish farmer that changed identity.
You're Amish, he says. Yeah. You don't look Amish, dude.
Well, not now he does it.
Well, yeah, I shaved my beard. That's why. I shaved the beard.
Well, it's funny now because we'll talk from time to time about, he'll say, well, where's Joe been? Because we haven't seen you. And I said, oh yeah, he's coming back. And then there will be people that we're interviewing in the studio. And next thing you know, we're mentioning, oh yeah, you got to listen to this guy, Joe, when he comes on. And then we'll tell him exactly, well, he's a time traveler from the year 2030. They'll go, oh, it's a bunch of crap. They're going on. And Paul, he's like your biggest cheerleader. He's like your biggest cheerleader. He said, he goes, look, you ask him a question. What do you tell him what you say?
Well, you ask me a question, and you're right on. You don't sit there and stumble about it. I mean, you got to know something.
Well, that's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to tell people that. So I had a TikTok go viral. See, TikTok is a good platform to use to reach people. However, if it's not what they deem appropriate, they shut it down. So, I had a one go viral 2 days ago, begin to go viral, 20,000 views, and then just stop. So that's what I was saying in the TikTok. I've been spot on. Whether you believe the story or not, I've been spot on. So at some point,
right,
you at least got to give me that I know what the heck I'm talking about. I told everyone there'd be a mass shooting in the heartland early in the year that would really put the emphasis on the guns and gun control. And here we are. They're going to really go hard at banning assault weapons and ultimately just a refined version of gun control as a whole. It's going to be very hard to obtain any kind of weapon very soon. So,
but Joe, to be honest with you, I remember you talking about that last year.
Yeah.
Not just recently, but I remember you talking about it last year.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I've been spot on about this. I don't remember the exact date, because who would? If I said, hey, what day and what year was Columbine, you would struggle for the answer because, not many people remember the actual date unless you're in Colorado or, in Sandy Hook, or if you're in that area, of course, that's a huge major event, community wise, locally, and, globally. But I remember like where I was, and I try to, I remember it was a little warmer out, but it still wasn't summer, and it may not be the exact date, but it's dead.
I think your internet
on time frame, Oh yeah, here. Well, yeah.
Yeah, your internet's kind of going in and out.
Let me try to turn off the Wi-Fi.
Oop, there he goes.
Gone.
Nah, he'll be back one way or another.
Is that better?
Yeah, it looks like it was just kind of like stuttering, but now it seemed to be okay.
Let's just hope it's the Wi-Fi and not some kind of interference. And I know that sounds.
It's your business, Joe. You got to jack the Wi-Fi up, man.
Well, I mean, it's good Wi. Hey, listen, it's good Wi-Fi. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Let's hope it's not some kind of interference. It happens all the time when I'm live on TikTok.
Yeah, explain that. Talk about that.
Well, people get kicked out of the lives. They're prevented from going in the lives. It seems like we're capped at 30 people. Mike, when I first started this, I had 500, 550 on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And it was too hard to even keep up with the comments. But it seems like they have really tried to minimize the message which isn't, it's not a bad message. It may seem dark at times, but the whole onus is to be a better person. If we're all better collectively, then the outcome of this is going to be better, you know. So I'm not really sure why they're so bent on making sure that this doesn't get out, but they are. I mean, I can just show you. You know, I had that video start. That video should be at 100,000 views at least, from my experience having done this for a year. But you know, the first day 20,000, the second day 300 views. No way. They're definitely preventing that from getting out. You know.
So for the benefit of those who have never listened to you and listened to what you have to say, you have come to us from the year 2030.
Yes.
And how did that happen? You didn't just click your heels 3 times.
No, it's part of an experiment, like I want to say a government program, but government is a little different in my time. It's not the United States as you see it today. It's part of a one nation, one world type government. And I was given the opportunity to come back, and like you and I have discussed, I didn't think I was going to make it out of there if I said no. Right. So I wasn't forced, but you know, I didn't think if I turned this down, I didn't think I was going back home for sure. And yeah, the technology came from otherworldly sources.
So now you knew it was one and done, correct? Did they tell you that they were going to bring you back, or did they say once you go, you're gone?
Yeah. I was told that I had to live out my days here. You know, that there would be no return, no extraction date. You know, this is a one and done, like you said. Yes.
Wow. I don't know if I could.
Which means you've been here before.
See, no, I asked you before if this is some sort of a time loop for you. And, you know, like Paul just said, so which means you've been here before. I mean, how would you speak to that?
I mean, I lived it. Yeah, I've lived it once, obviously, and this is my second time. I hope that this isn't some kind of time loop where I may revisit this again. I don't think I could do it. You know, it's for my mental well-being and for my physical well-being. I don't think I could do it again because it is very taxing. It is very hard on you mentally knowing, hey, X, Y, and Z is about to happen. I'm built morally to either try to prevent X, Y, and Z or, you know, alert people of X, Y, and Z, but it's not how this is intended to work. You know, the emphasis is on each individual trying to help change this collectively. You know, if I go and I try to prevent X, Y, and Z, I'm certainly not going to be able to carry out my objective because, you know, who knows what could happen. I could not be here after X, Y, and Z, you know, or it could change everything dramatically. You know, some things are meant to happen to get to a certain point. Those fixed moments in time that I believe I've spoke to you about a few times. You know, I think no matter what you do, even if you and yeah, I just think they have to happen. You know, they're written, they're predetermined, and it just echoes through whatever timeline you are in. I do believe that.
So do you think the experiment is to send the 7 back, the 7 individuals that came back, to see if they can change that predetermined outcome? That's a question I've never asked you before.
I do. I know what my objective is, and I've had contact with other members. We've never talked about our objectives, but just the setup and what their lives are today. One is very high government, not the United States, but another is very high up in the IT technology industry, develops a lot of different systems overseas for huge companies, Alibaba. So just seeing where they're positioned, yeah, I do. I think we're trying to change that predetermined, destined event that's going to take place and shape everything for the future. I mean, I know it seems like a decade is not a long time and not a lot could change fundamentally, but I'm here to tell you that we're knee deep in it right now. People are not paying attention to the right things. I made a YouTube video last night. I saw that North Korea fired a couple more ballistic missiles. Those are the events they want you to keep at the forefront of your mind, so that the things that really are affecting and impacting our daily lives are kind of out of sight, out of mind. This guy's been doing this for how long? And I mean, three terms, maybe longer, 3 different presidents, Obama, Trump, and now Biden. I mean, it's just like, it's the old bait and switch. We're gonna have you looking over here, and we're really doing everything we need to do back here. This thing.
Uh,
All right, so wow.
yeah.
Can anybody can you all hear me?
Man, talking about the time traveler, man, we just went back. Holy crapola.
That I don't care what anybody says. That is freaking freaky.
It is freaky.
That is freaky beyond belief.
right. Why did that go
So
off?
I have no idea.
It was the whole town that went off.
We were talking to Joe. No, I don't know if it was the whole town.
Well, this is because the bank went out because it says minus 196. So the bank, it took a drop and went back quick. So I would think the whole town, which tells me it may have been a transmission line. Because
We lost power at our house too.
you did. Okay.
That would so I did inform Joe to let him know that we were back, but
That's weird.
that is
Crazy. Yeah. We lost power at the house too. Everything. Yep. All the cameras went out.
so I don't know. I don't know if well I know Joe. I just sent him a text.
Yeah.
So, but here we are talking about Joe and time travel and that type of stuff.
And he had a Wi-Fi issue.
He had a Wi-Fi issue, and all of a sudden, boom, the whole power went out in town.
Everything. Because even my power at the house went down because I'm on Jewett City. So
Yeah.
Jewett City went out. So which tells me transmission line.
There he is.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Wow.
They tried to,
What the hell was
shut
that?
us off, man. It happens, dude. Like, you guys, everyone thinks that this is a joke. They do. It happens. It happens. That's why I asked you, is it just you or is it the street?
No, the whole town went out because we have Jewett City Bank is reading minus 196 degrees. So we must be on Mars or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
or they're trying to shut the. Listen, I know it seems like just far-fetched, very sci-fi. I get all that, but I'm telling you, there are things that happen that they are 100% true. They're 100% accurate. You know, every story you've ever heard is rooted in some kind of fact. Some kind of fact. So,
Dude, I'm like, what the hell? That was you're used to this, aren't you?
yes, I'm very used to it.
Paul.
So I'm going to tell you a quick story.
All right.
I noticed in my SUV I had a tracking device. I was able to find it, have a little fun with it. I just bought a new Audi S8. It's in the shop. I had some repairs I needed to do. It is still in the shop because I believe that the government has stepped in and they got the correct warrants and everything, and they're putting a tracking device on that vehicle. There's no reason my car should still be in there, and the guy has no answers. None. I'm trying to get it back to you. That's the only answer that he's given. So yes, I'm very used to this in my everyday life.
Wow.
Well, you get some very positive comments. But what I did notice, like as far as social media, you got some hate going on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was looking at some of the comments. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, because
people are vicious on social media anyway, but
right. But they if they don't believe it, or it seems to be taboo to them, then they just want to dismiss it altogether. So, here's the thing. I mean, everyone's opinion matters, but I'm to the point where I pay that no mind. I would rather have some fun with that than to take it personal. When they banned that first account that had tens of thousands of followers, I took that personal. And now I'm just to the point where I'm like, listen, whether it's one person or 1 million that hear this, believe it, start applying it to their life, I can't change that. That's on everybody else. As long as I keep fighting the good fight, I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Do you feel like now it's like I've got nothing else to lose?
Well, I mean, I really don't have anything else to lose. I mean, I've lost everything dear to me. I'm back here. I do feel like a visitor. I don't feel like this is my place. I feel like a visitor. And I know that my days are numbered, and I don't mean that in a morbid type way.
I was saying it's kind of morbid, dude.
Well, I mean, I know things are about to get really bad. They're going to get bad before they get any better. So I'm just going to enjoy these last few months before things start this descent. And I'm not going to take things personal. It is what it is. If the government wanted to stop this, they would. I'm not, I'm just an individual. I know that if they wanted to shut this down completely, they would do that. I would be under some, in some black site, never heard from again. I mean, so, they're giving me a leash, and I'm going to, see how far it goes, I guess.
Well, you got one of your biggest fans. Read that one, Joe. I'm going to be the time traveler's wife. Ooh.
Oh, man.
There you go. Well, okay, see, Joe. Yeah.
It's a good movie. I actually watched it.
It is a good movie.
Month and a half ago, maybe.
Huh?
I said I watched it for the first time a month and a half ago. Yeah.
There's some good time travel movies out there. Did you ever watch that one I told you about? The one in it's an Australian movie. I think it was called 41 or 31.
I don't think
the
I've
acting was
gotten
horrible.
to it yet.
The acting was absolutely horrendous, but the storyline was phenomenal.
What was the one? Wasn't it called Time Machine, where the guy built that stationary device and he ends up so far in the that's it. H.G. Wells. Okay.
That's an old story. That's been around for a long time.
Yeah. He's written some doozies, right?
So you're laughing on the inside, aren't you, about this event this morning with the power just going off?
I mean, listen, I'm telling you, things like this, and everyone listening knows, and everyone who follows on TikTok and Instagram and are in the Discord and YouTube, they all know. They see things. I've heard it a million times. I never have any issue with anyone else's live stream but yours. Never. And I've tried to catch all of this and document it for everyone. When I had the black SUV out in front of my property, when I had the guy on the property line, like he was set up camp, had been there for multiple days. If I was telling a lie, if this was not the truth, why would they even bother? I don't do anything, outside the law. I mean, I'm a law-abiding citizen while I'm here. So what would be their purpose? It's because they know that something. Look, how many time travelers are there on TikTok? 1,000? 100? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
I've never seen one be correct.
Well, I got to be honest with you. There was a guy in one of the forums that I was talking about the live we were having today, and I was talking about it. And one guy mentioned that he was a time traveler, and he gave a couple of instances. And I commented on his stuff, and I said, and this was on Facebook. This wasn't on TikTok or anything like that. And I said, you know what? Why don't you come on the show?
Let's
you know what
do
I
it.
heard? Crickets.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a time traveler shootout here.
The time traveler saloon.
Would take a while for
They
the
all-
bullets to hit you. To do it
Yeah,
time
that's
traveler
true.
shootout.
That's true.
If you did it in if you did it in 2030, the bullets won't hit you until then. Especially if you're
You know what's funny is they always go with the popular pick, and they'll hit it about 50% of the time. When I came out and I said Joe Biden was going to be the president, like, you want to talk about hate. That's when it ramped up. It was vicious, because people love Donald Trump. I mean, they were the love affair was huge, but I mean, it's just, it is the way it is. That's what I'd say. I'm sorry. You want me to lie to you? That's really not my purpose here.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to Joe Biden, what's going to happen with old Joe? Like in
At
your
the end of this
timeline,
year,
in your timeline, what happens with Joe Biden?
so he steps down due to medical reasons, but the whispers and the speculation is that he's pushed out, that he's pinched right up out of his position. And listen, it's always been Kamala Harris. She was actually running for president. It got squashed. Gotta love Tulsi. Like, she did her job. They needed to find somebody to attach to her to still get her in. So now that he's president, I mean, they're not going to do it in 2 months' time. They're going to wait till fall, and they're going to have him step down. I mean, he's, God bless him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's my president. I've always said once he's in office, I will not say a cross word about him, because he's the president, and I respect the office no matter who's in the office. But yeah, he steps down because of health reasons. I mean, that's what it is on the surface. Although it's always been Kamala Harris's seat, that agenda, that extreme view. It's different. It's different than what everyone's used to.
So what do you think it's going to be like with Kamala Harris in there? I mean,
It's
What
horrible.
was it like when? Yeah, what was it like when she was in?
It's horrible. I mean, it really is. It's very radical. So look, I don't identify with a party. I knew at the end of the last administration, it is your best bet to not throw that out there, because you are going to be, if you're not that party or that way of thinking, you are going to be, I don't want to say a target, but there's no other word I can put on it. You're going to be front and center. How's that? The attention is going to be on you. Everyone is loving the social media. They're making comments. They're giving their opinion. And although everyone should have an opinion, I believe that's great. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you speak, because they're collecting that data. And this is a very radical agenda that's going to take place. You're going to see it. Mike, you're older. Paul, you're ancient. You're going to see it. I'm sorry. I had to get
You're
one
not
in
sorry.
But you're going to see it play out, and you're going to be like, wow, is this the way that is this the direction that we're going now? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is. So
do you think there'll be some kind of an uprising?
there is some civil unrest. I liken it to three 3 phases, and we're deep in the first phase. By the end of this year, phase 1 will be complete, and we will be into phase 2. And anybody who follows me knows what phase 2 brings about. And I won't say it on the radio. I don't think it's proper or a good place to be putting that out there. But if you want to know, go follow the social media. Phase 2 is the action phase,
Yeah, I think a lot of people realize now that Joe isn't going to be around long. I mean, I think they all know that Harris is coming in. And I think that's pretty much, people believe that. I mean, some of the things he comes out and says, I mean, the poor guy's having a hard time even walking upstairs. I mean, you realize there's something wrong there somewhere,
Yeah, well, I just
they can't hide it.
They can't hide it.
Well, I just want to say I said this before anybody even got in office. So I want to put that out there. But yes, he and I don't dislike Joe Biden. I think he's a career politician. He has a good story. There's things that have happened to him that are, that are horrible, and he's persevered from that. But yeah, he was put there to go away. He was just the name that they could attach to get Kamala Harris as the president. Yeah. And I don't want her coming and searching me out for saying that, but I'm just telling you the facts. I mean, you see it. You saw it during the campaign. He had moments where he wasn't completely
cognizant.
100%. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad, but
yeah, he can't be in a press conference without having a script in front of him. He can't shoot off the hip to talk.
No,
because he just goes off in some tangent that you know what the hell the guy's talking about.
Come on, man. Come on. I mean, that's where Donald Trump ate him alive. But see, Donald Trump just couldn't keep his mouth shut. So that's why he's not in office.
That's true.
Yeah. And I laid that out in June of last year when everyone was like, oh, dude, he's packing stadiums. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but Donald Trump was not a good speaker either. Donald Trump had a tendency to repeat himself all the time, which is not the signs of a good person who has good oral, condition.
Well, I mean, we went from one of the greatest ever in Barack Obama. He could move crowds. You were engaged. Yeah, you were very engaged.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So you went from that to that, and it was completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah. President should be presidential. They should have some polish to them.
Yes.
Donald Trump had zero.
He did not have the polish.
Zero polish.
No. I mean, he was the head of a corporation, and what he said went whether you liked it or not.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah,
it's going to be huge.
It's going to be bigly. It's going to be huge.
Bigly. Look at my hands. They're bigly. There's no problem anywhere else in my body, I swear.
I mean, what kind of guy says things about his own daughter that are just, he just didn't have the polish, man. So,
no.
I mean, there it is.
Yeah. So what are international relations going to be like, or what were they like in your timeline with Kamala Harris?
We are going to see a very radical agenda. Let me put the emphasis on the fact that nothing comes to fruition, but we are going to be on the brink, and it's going to feel like we're on the brink of a war, and a multi-nation war because of this agenda. You already see it playing out, We went 4 years with kind of a very lax international agenda, Hey, you can go ahead and do what you want, just stay out of the news, and I'm gonna focus over here. It's about time that we put the focus here. This administration gets in, they bomb Syria, now North Korea. He called Putin a killer. regardless of what you think, that's not polish either. You know, there's some things you just you can't do. You know, you're taking one of our adversaries and you're now emboldening them to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So you're going to see, you know, a lot tensions rise. It's really funny. Right after he said that, North Korea starts to ramp up.
Sure.
I said it in the YouTube last night. It's not North Korea you need to worry about. It's those two nations that are supporting North Korea logistically,
sure.
with weapons and training and, you know, money, and they want us to be in some kind of conflict. You know, they want us to take all of our assets and manpower and throw it somewhere else. They want us to be engaged. I should run for president because, like, I just don't know where they could not see this. You know, how you cannot see this.
Now, when in your timeline, gonna ask you straight up.
Okay.
Did the nukes fly?
No.
Well, hopefully that's a positive. No.
But I gotta tell you, it does. So I didn't live through the 60s and when you were taught in elementary school, you know, how to get under a table in case of
duck and cover.
Yeah. So, but it is going to feel that way. I mean, I want people, we have this new generation of youngsters that, I mean, it's bad news bears for these guys. I'm telling you, I cannot lie. I cannot put it any other way. There's no social makeup about them. They don't have the skills. They're living digitally. You know, they are one of the biggest groups that suffer from what is coming because of the way they live their lives. But it is going to feel like we are definitely on the brink of a multi-nation war. I don't want to say World War III because that's, people freak out, you know. Have a multi-nation conflict, and yes, you know, the big players are all involved in this. The big three, and we know who those are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know who they are.
What do you think, Paul? Are you glad you came in today?
I was supposed to be positive, man. I'm out here. There's all this negativity.
We've renamed him Paul for positivity, and now he's sitting down. He could have been home doing nothing but sitting with his 14 cats. But no, I told him, I said, you got to come in today. And here he is, and look what happens.
Does he have 14 cats?
Paul, go ahead.
Yeah. Not mine and my wife's cat.
Well, I mean, I'll give you that.
Did you see in your face, Joe?
Well, I'll give you that, you know, because I'm one of the guys that subscribe to women run the world, you know. So I'll give you that. If you lived alone with 14 cats, we'd have to have a long conversation.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you just got a proposal. There you go.
Another one?
As the boy says with a sheepish grin. Will you be answering Sabina this morning?
I tell you what, man. You know, it's the craziest thing to go from giving all that serious information to a laugh, man. That's what I hope. Like, human nature just prevails with all of this, you know, because we can find light in the darkest hour, you know. I really hope that everybody starts to look. You don't have to believe anything I say, but I mean, you got to understand that I've been pretty precise. So maybe you should kind of just take into account some of these things that are brought up on social media, on Mike's show, and maybe change a couple things. I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is.
I don't know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, this is a pretty true statement that you talk about multinational war. It's a multi-generational war as well.
Yeah.
Inky says, my daughter just turned 18 and is so anti-police, totally brainwashed by social media. It's very sad.
And it is. And I want to let you know, this is a support the police hat here. Look, this is by design. Understand that all of this has been planned and plotted and for decades. So they knew that if they could get the youth on their side, that we'd have a big problem on our hands. And you saw what happened in Seattle, you saw what happened in Oregon, you saw what happened. There's multiple places where you saw these few generations, band together and really cause a lot of ruckus. It's by design, and it's sad. I've had a conversation with an employee to the point where they walked out of here and they brought it up. I said, look, do you really want to get into this conversation? We just met. I just got the company. Do you really want to? I don't think it's a proper time and place. Well, I want to know who you are. Okay. Well, I wear my convictions on my sleeve. So let's go ahead and have this conversation. They left. They were young. And they left because they didn't see life the same way I see life. And that's okay. But they're very radicalized. So when I speak of this radical agenda coming in, now you can put the puzzle pieces together. Like, this has been planned.
So Linda says, way to change the subject about your marriage proposal. And Sabina comes back and says, oh, so is that a yes?
Again,
do you
from
guys
serious
even live local to one another?
To a laugh. From serious to a laugh. That's why it gives me hope, Paul and Mike. It gives me hope that we're going to be okay. Because remember, although this has played out in my time, this can still go anyway. There's a million different reactions to every action. So this could go really good. We could never see any of this. Highly unlikely, but it could happen.
So I got to ask you, let's just throw it right back. Are you and Sabina and local to each other?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. I think she's planning on moving to wherever you are. If she has kids, she's bringing them along.
Oh, goodness.
She'll be there last Thursday. Time traveler joke. Sorry.
Yeah. Last Thursday.
Come on, man. I'm Polish. I don't realize when I'm making a joke and when I'm not. So what do we have? What do we have to look forward to this year, other than Joe Biden?
So financial markets are going to crash. I said by the end of March. That was a rough estimate. However, you're starting to see some signs of things slowing down. That is a pretty big thing because it ushers in, a digital dollar that you'll see at the beginning of next year. So your fiat currency is going to go away.
For those of you who don't know what fiat currency is, it's paper money.
Paper money. Sorry. I thought everybody was on, I thought everyone might know what fiat is, but, so the groundwork is being set this year for next year, where you will see a microchip. They call it digital identifier. Don't freak out, people. But it is very real, and like I said, COVID is the catalyst for everything. We're going to have a reprieve here in the summer, and then the numbers are going to start to ramp back up as soon as the fall comes. And, everyone who is not vaccinated by that time, you're basically going to be forced to be vaccinated. Believe me, don't believe me, time will tell. But you're going to be forced. All of it wrapped up into a nice little package that, a lot of people can't put together, and that's okay. That's okay. But there are people that can put it together that are trying to educate you that this is happening. You just got to pay attention.
So now we have a question here. Now I'm going to answer this actually. Do you see me getting married in years to come? Well, Joe's a time traveler. He's not a psychic.
I can't do. I think they have
Psychic Tuesday.
Yeah, I think they have Psychic Tuesday. So you might want to ask whoever's on Psychic Tuesday.
She knows. She's in there for Psychic Tuesday. Stephanie wants to know, I work at a bank. Should I be scared?
I don't know about scared. Yeah, there's just going to be an overhaul. Banking will change. I mean, they'll still have bankers. They'll still be, trying to get you to put your money into their bank. It's just going to be digital, no paper money. So nothing changes.
Anybody
really.
who has savings is just going to go digital, not paper.
Yeah, you'll get an exchange. You'll get a 1-for-1 exchange. So I know a lot of people were concerned.
Double.
Oh yeah.
But if you just show up with $10 million, it's going to raise some questions. So I would start, if you do have money like that just laying around and you cannot prove that you made it, or whatever the case may be, I would start buying stuff.
Gotcha.
Because you're gonna have to prove.
What about silver?
Silver is going to go haywire. I mean, it's already begun. There was a time last month where you were paying $70 over spot price on silver. So it's a good place to put your money, especially if you can find it at value. Yeah.
And this is all stuff you talked about last year.
Yes. And that's the thing. There are things that I know, obviously, that I could warn people about, but I cannot be labeled or wrapped up in that. If I was to come out and say, hey, tomorrow this is going to happen, and then it happens, you could theoretically say I had something to do with it. So a lot of people are like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you stop this? I still have to protect myself here. As much as I would love to inform people like, hey, don't go there tomorrow. That's not why I'm here. Things are unfortunate, and like what happened in Colorado this week, horrible. What am I like? If I get involved in that, then I assume responsibility, and I'm not trying to be wrapped up in that. I don't think people think it all the way through when they say, hey, why didn't you stop this? Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you? It's not my place. I'm here for what I'm here for. If that makes sense. I want to put it out there because that's a question I get a lot.
I think it makes sense when it comes to like as far as what your objective is, because you as well as the rest of the 7 each have your own objective. What that is. Somebody asked me yesterday, what's his objective? I said, I don't know, and I don't want to know. Yeah. I honestly don't want to know. Now, how many? Before we wrap things up, because I know you have a life to live and get back to work. But how many of the 7 have you had contact with?
So I've had contact with 4. So there are still some unknowns. The one I talk to the most is my Russian counterpart. It's kind of weird because I just get the feeling on the surface that the guy dislikes me very much, but yet we speak often. And we were never supposed to meet. We were never supposed to know what one another is doing or where they are. But it's worked out that we have. And I think that the people that created this, or the entities, or whatever, however you want to put it, knew that at some point we were going to cross paths. It sucks that I'm the catalyst for that, because if this doesn't work out, then I feel like I'm at fault. But you know, it's I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that we know one another. But we've both speculated on who we think, and there's one in particular that we think has part in this, and it's a pretty big name that people know. So I'm not gonna throw it out there. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I think that he may be responsible for one of those seats at this table.
One last question, and it's actually for Paul.
Uh-oh.
It says Linda wants to know. So, Paul, what do you think of Joe?
You know, it's up to you how you want to believe him. I mean, I just think when you ask him questions, he's kind of spot on. So, you know, I just take it for what he's saying and listen to it. If it comes true, it comes true. I don't expect to be here in 2030. So,
What are you talking about, man?
2030.
So what?
9 years from now.
All right, so you'd be what, 86?
Yeah.
People don't
You'll
live to
be
be
here, Paul.
86?
People live to be 86 all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I ain't gonna let you go. I need somebody here Monday, Wednesday, and freaking Friday, okay? So you're not going anywhere.
I could be in my walk.
Now the cats,
No,
the cats may not be here, you know, but
Who?
I said the cats might not be here, but
Oh,
Paul will be
that's
here.
that's true.
He's
And I hope
thanking
they're
God for
not,
that.
because getting up in the morning,
Cats are a
having to
big-
step over crap. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I listen. I know all about it.
They let you live in your house. That's
I
all they
know.
do.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. I'm gonna let you fly, because thanks for being with us again. And are you gonna come
Okay.
back next Thursday, or what are we gonna do?
Yep. I'll be here 100% next Thursday.
And you're mask free, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good idea, but I just figured, you know, what's
Still
the
gonna
point
live
of
your
this?
life.
Yeah, I
Still
mean,
have
it
to
is
live
what
your
it
life.
is.
So anyway, we appreciate your time.
All right, man.
I'll talk to you at some time this week or whenever,
Okay.
and we'll plan it out. We'll throw some subjects my way and
Okay.
see what we want to
Sounds
do.
good, man.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Bye.
Have a
Take
good
care,
week.
guys.
Yeah,
All right, you
take
too.
care.
All right. So that is Joe, our time traveler from the year 2030.
2030.
What do you think, Paul?
That's interesting.
It's very interesting, is it not?
I'd be kind of curious the next time you talk to him is to see where Putin lies, where Putin ends up.
I don't know. He won't. Somebody just zapped her. All I can say is, to recap this show, it's been very interesting. Joe was talking about what's going to be starting in this year, and all of a sudden, the entire borough, or at least in this little block, power went out, gone. Just as he asked that. He used to have an internet questions where he is, and he's, I don't know, 1,500 miles away, 2,000 miles away, and all of a sudden, boom, we lose complete power here. Just, when's the last time that happened?
I mean, that was a quick burp.
Yeah, and not only that, it's not bad weather.
No.
It's not bad weather at all.
No, not bad at all. And then let's see what the Jewish City thinks there.
So we'll have to see what happens. But anyway, thanks for joining us on Time Travel Thursday. We will see you once again tomorrow. Paul, you'll be back with Stump the Chump.
Stump the Chump.
All right. Yep. All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you tomorrow right here on SNSN.
Local news and weather broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City. The streaming news and sports network, SNSN.
Here's a look at your local news headlines on